Okay, so let's look at that game then more closely. So we got Rams at Bears Sunday night. What more could you ask for? Frigid Soldier Field. Fans there at a frenzied pitch. And the relationship between the coaches is one that I think is also fascinating.
There's some great offensive play callers this weekend. We've got Sean Payton, we've got Kyle Shanahan, and then there might be two no better than these two, Ben Johnson and Sean McVay. But last week, after the game, of course, you saw Ben Johnson blow off Matt LaFleur, and then you saw the locker room video that the social media team posted where he sang blank the Packers. And then he had a 24-hour time to really reflect on it and still said, I feel the same way, and my owner's got my back. Well, they asked Sean McVay about it, who, by the way, is best friends with LaFleur and who's the head coach of the offensive coordinator, Mike LaFleur, who is Matt LaFleur's little brother. Take a listen to what Sean said this week.
What would you guess? No, you know what? We watch the tape, we do our work, and, Matt is a very close friend of mine.
I think there's a little bit more going
I love it.
We watch the tape.
I love it.
We do the work.
We talk about giving jerseys to each other after the games, and we do the sportsmanship thing. There is some real blood here and some no love lost. I'm here for it. I need this in my life.
Healthy dislike. It's great. I mean it that way.
This is great for the National Football League. Like, everything doesn't have to be kumbaya. I get it. Every now and then you like that from coaches and players. But it's okay to go back old school and not like one another and then have these rivalries between coaches. And then when you have a brother that's a part of another staff and a guy that coached with the guy that you don't like, I like this. This is playoff football, in my opinion. I like this from a head coaching perspective.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, look, it's good theater. It's good entertainment. But you know what? Ben Johnson ain't strapping up on the game day, and neither is Sean. So look, really, what it's going to come down to. I'll tell you what, though. I like how the Rams match up against the Chicago Bears.
Tell me why.
Because, look, in the end, Chicago cannot afford to start this game slowly. You don't want to be playing from a deficit against this team that has, I think they're number 6 in pass rush win rate over the past month in terms of the Rams front seven. Look, you do not want Jared Verse coming after your quarterback. Okay, you don't want him being able to play you very much so with a one-track mind, meaning that they're just going to be able to rush the passer because you can't run the football because you're behind. And on top of it, hey, look, there are some issues with the Rams secondary. We know that. We know the corner situation is a problem. And just like the secondary situation is a little bit of an issue for Chicago. This game, I think, is going to be a high-scoring game, regardless of the weather. I think there's going to be a lot of points put up.
Let me just make sure everyone is up on the weather. We're talking about a really cold game. Can we throw that up there, please? It's B20. Kickoff 21 degrees, feels like 8 degrees. Winds not super high, 10 miles an hour, gusting to 20. I'm looking at Bart, he's laughing.
Well, you know how it is. You're from Northwestern, I'm from Detroit.
Yeah,
That's Midwest weather, baby. That's all good. That's Turkey Bowl on Thanksgiving right there.
I got you.
I love this type of football.
Does that make it a low scoring? Does it impact the team's ability to have high-flying offense?
Well, not necessarily. It all depends on if your quarterback got them Junior Whopper hands. You know what I'm saying? That ball becomes slick. You talk about the big spin. No, because everybody knows that,
They don't have that. Matt Stafford and Caleb Williams definitely have the full. They got the double Whopper with extra cheese hands.
What people don't realize, football is pigskin, right? Not like this Egyptian leather that I got on right here. You know what I'm saying? It's pigskin. And what happens to leather when it gets cold? The oil comes out, so the ball becomes extremely slick. Also, Doogie knows that it's hard to catch. So you talk about the peanut punch, you talk about turnovers, putting your team on short fields. Ball security is going to be job security. Corinthian leather.
Is the weather a factor in the game or not?
I think it's more so of a factor for receivers because when the weather's that cold, the ball literally feels like a rock. So it's all about how comfortable you can be, making sure your hands are warm. And if a quarterback like Matthew Stafford and Caleb Williams, because their accuracy, can they put the ball on your body a little bit more on certain passes?
The massive X factor is Stafford got a serious finger injury on his throwing hand that he suffered when he hit the helmet last week, and that's real. So you put the cold weather in there. I don't believe in the whole they're an LA team, they can't compete. Like Blake Corum played at Michigan, and Karen Williams played at Notre Dame. Like Puka's from BYU. Like the cold weather is not going to be what it is. It's more that type of stuff when he hits his finger and he's feeling sore and it's 8 degrees.
You know what though? I am not doubting that man in the least. We tried to write his obituary back in August when we were talking about his back, and we didn't think that he would even make it through the season. And he just comes out and has an MVP type season. They're going to be just fine. This ball is going up.
See, Lou's a defensive player. He knows. Here's the beauty about playing, in this type of cold weather. The pass gets stiff and hard like weapons, and the ground becomes like concrete. You can put people to sleep night time. That's why I love this type of weather.
Yeah, sounds like such fun. You make it sound so.
You can crack a helmet. You can crack a helmet in this type of weather.
We've seen
You can split somebody's wig, literally, Gurney.
The truth is this: the Bears have had the most miraculous wins all season. The Rams have had the most confounding losses all season. Thursday night against San Francisco, Thursday night against Seattle, the Carolina loss. Something's got to give, or it's a miracle season for the Bears, and they just keep on winning.
And the winner is off to the NFC Championship game. Up here, people. Take a look at all of the injuries. Gabe Davis tore his ACL in that game. Tyrell Shavers, it turns out, played much of that game with a torn ACL. So they literally have 3 healthy receivers on their active roster. They'll bring other people up, but the point remains that a team that was already banged up is even worse off, and you've got the quarterback dealing with a hand and a foot and a knee and all sorts of other things. So, I mean, I look at this thing, Bart, honestly, and I say to myself, and look, again, I have no horse in the race. I'd like to see Josh Allen get there because he's been a great player for so long. I find this an almost impossible spot for him going into Denver.
It is, and, he's expected to carry the load. You talked about last week, what was his superpower? His superpower was the fact that they were 3 for 3 in the red zone. That's what's going to have to happen. But he's going to, if you watch that Houston game, if that's any indication of what we may see, it could be scary for him out there because you have Patrick Surtain. If Patrick Surtain takes away Schrager, who was 12 targeted 12 times, 12 receptions, you take that away. I don't know where Josh Allen goes. Especially if they're able to stop the run, it's going to have to be chaos. It's going to have to be scrambling because the Denver Broncos blitz the 5th most in the NFL. Live by the blitz, die by the blitz. That's where the big explosive play is going to have to come. You're going to have to make sure you have your scramble offense ready. So if you got an opportunity to take a big shot, if you break contain, if somebody slips on one of those blitzes, you got to make your big plays that way. That's the only way I can see how Josh and the Buffalo Bills can come away victorious. Put the ball in the hands of Bo Nix. He's just good enough to lose it.
Well, that's really was where I was going to go next. Can the Bills win this game if the Broncos don't lose it? The Broncos have everything going for them. They had the bye. They're playing at home. The Bills are on a short week, back-to-back road games in 6 days. It feels like the Broncos will have to contribute something if Buffalo is going to win.
Yeah, I just wouldn't necessarily count on that because, look, I believe Sean Payton's one of the best big game coaches that there is. And he will have his finger on the pulse of what Bo Nix needs to do in order to not be the reason why they do lose the football game. I wouldn't count on that. If I'm Buffalo right now, I think this comes down to 2 things for them offensively in particular. And you're right, that Houston game was scary. There's no question about that. Buffalo has one of the best offensive lines in football in terms of capturing the line of scrimmage. That's why, that's why James Cook had the year that he had. That is what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to first down play calling, first down getting 4+, staying ahead of the sticks so second down can be a medium down, third down can be 4 or less. Because I tell you what, if it's 2nd and 9, if it's 3rd and 7, it's going to be a long day. They need to control the clock, control the line of scrimmage, lean on that offensive line, but first down play calling. Joe Brady, this is your time. This is your time to say, hey, look, I'm going to show you what I've got as far as being a rhythmic play caller to keep this defense off balance.
Everything on paper says Broncos. Home, healthy, long rest, Super Bowl winning coach who's not going to pee down his leg in a big moment. Like everything says. Number 17 might just be in one of those magical seasons. It's so hard to explain how and why. But I've got the Bills, and it's because I'm trusting Superman right now. Keep it close in the 4th quarter. He seems to find a way. It would take a miraculous effort out of him, and yet I can see a miraculous effort out of him getting it done.
For every miraculous effort that he's going to have to conjure up, those people are going to have to come along with him. People are going to have to make plays.
Right. You're right.
Tre'Davious White's going to have to show up like he did against Jacksonville.
All right?
Somebody's going to have to make some plays because he can't do it, not against a team this good. He can't do it all on his own.
Quickly, let me get Harry in.
No, that's the thing about Buffalo. Like collectively as a team, who is going to be able to assist Josh Allen? Now, I love what Josh Allen did last week versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. He didn't force the issue. He became Superman when it asked of him in that ball game. So he had to methodically work the football down the field. And when the Jacksonville Jaguars make mistakes, that's why I think it's pivotal for Bo Nix not to make mistakes. Right. This defense is not good at Buffalo, but if they can capitalize off mistakes that Denver potentially may make, then it can be extra possessions for Josh Allen in that offense.
Final word, Bart.
Schematically, this is a mismatch that we haven't seen in a long time. James Cook was shut down last week. You steal the extra guy in the box, when you don't have receivers on the outside. And that's just regular. But they have an eraser. They have an island in Patrick Surtain who can erase a whole side. Schrager can be erased. So that gives you an extra man to spy on Josh Allen. So I don't see the run game being effective for Josh Allen or for James Cook, because I'm going to totally disrespect every one of your receivers, not because they're not good, because I have Patrick.
Well, James Cook in the pass game could be big in this game.
I would just say if it's a 3 or 4 point game in the fourth quarter, Denver did not do the job because that is exactly what Buffalo wants.
But they've been there too. Denver's been there all year.
Yeah.
They're not going to panic in the face of that. And if Josh Allen gets eliminated, we have to start asking other questions about that future, because this is your best opportunity. We don't want to hear no damn excuses. Ain't no Patrick
We'll find
Mahomes
out.
here.
We'll see. That's the early game tomorrow. And then Sunday, we've got the early game. Our AFC game is Stroud and the Texans, and it's May and the Patriots. The game is 2:45 Eastern on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app.